Welterweight bout, Jeremiah Wells sitting at minus 155 against Carlston Harris, who comes in at plus 125, over under 2.5 rounds, plus 120 for the over, minus 150 for the under. Both men, 36 years of age, and they've had a pretty dang good run. I mean, 5-0 for Jeremiah Wells in his last 5, 4-1 for Carlston Harris, the only loss to Shavkat Rakhmonov. And Jeremiah Wells was in a very interesting fight his last time out against Selmsberger, gets the split decision win. He got knocked down, I believe, 3 times in that one, but ultimately got a takedown almost immediately after that and got the win, basically for control time. He got 11 minutes of control time. A lot of his game plan is, huck bombs, and then if that fails, go to the wrestling or go to the submission game that he has. He's got a pretty good jiu-jitsu base. Carlston Harris, his last time out, I mean, he was a pretty sizable favorite against Jared Gooden, and Jared Gooden took that fight on short notice. He goes in there, and the striking was like super weird. Doesn't seem natural to him. He has a pretty good size for 170, pretty good reach, 76-inch reach for 170. And he doesn't really use it. Like he kind of has like a bent arm when he throws his punches, and he doesn't use his length very well. In this one, I think he needs to use his length. He needs to use his kicks very well as well, because Jeremiah Wells got big power. And if you get into that range where he can clip you, if he hits you, you're probably going to go down. Carlston Harris, I think he probably needs to stay to the outside, use his kicks. And I don't think he's going to be able to do that because he just hasn't really shown much of that in the UFC. He's got power in his hands for sure. But at the same time, the grappling he showed against Jared Gooden wasn't, I mean, it was effective, but it wasn't like that great because Jared Gooden is like not some great grappler, doesn't have very good takedown defense. Carlston Harris was able to take him down, not finish him. In this one against Jeremiah Wells, I just don't see where he has like a big upper hand in any spot. I think Jeremiah Wells should be able to get this one done. Could knock him out, but at the same time, he just showed his last fight. He can grind out a win if he needs to. I like that in a fighter, so I'm going to take him. What do you got?
Yeah, I like that like scrappy dog that Jeremiah Wells, has in him, because he was hurt bad against Simmelsberger in his last fight in that first round. I mean, when he dropped, it almost looked like he was going to go out for a minute. And ended up surviving, gets the takedown, and does what he has to do to just win the fight. And that was super impressive, regardless of how that ages now that Simmelsberger just got knocked out in round 3 this past weekend. Jeremiah Wells is a guy, though, he is older. He's not a young guy that I guess you would be worried about, like the experience factor and stuff like that. Like, he's 36 years old. He's got 15 fights professionally now. He's not like green at this anymore. He's seen a lot of different styles. Carlston Harris, like you mentioned, the striking did look super weird in his last fight. Like, you can tell the dude's athletic and probably has some really good power if he, is a little bit more technical with striking, but he's just not. And he has good wrestling as well. Both guys, good wrestling. Both guys, decent takedown defense. Carlston Harris only at 75%, where Jeremiah Wells, I don't think, has ever been taken down in the UFC or in the last 4 fights in the UFC. So I think Jeremiah Wells has an advantage here as well. I do like the power on the feet. Carlston Harris, like I said, he's athletic. He's not going to be super easy, and he's not going to sit right in front of you with no head movement to where you can hit him like that. But Wells, he throws wild, man. He catches people, and when he hits you, it's pretty devastating. And he is relentless, too, with the grappling and wrestling. And I think that style could wear down a guy like Carlston Harris. And I'm going to pick Wells here for my pick as well.